Hi, Panasonic DVD Blu-ray disc recorder. A viewer called Jamie sent me this and asked if I could have a look at it. And what he said in the email was, I'm a foster carer and subscriber to your YouTube channel for several years, and I've built up quite a collection of children's programs on this Panasonic DVD recorder player. It's 4 to 5 years old, worked perfectly until last night and started to turn off as soon as you turn it on. I was wondering if it's something you might be interested in having a look at, and if you could fix it, it would mean I would not lose my almost complete collection of new Paddington shows where Ben Wishart's voice the bear. I don't think I've seen you work on such a machine to date. Hoping the Valleys lambs continue to thrive. Photos attached. Regards, Jamie. Well, the Valleys lambs, which were born around about Christmas, were quite poorly, and we've managed to bring them around. There's a bit of video of them on the screen just now, and they're actually doing okay now. We did have a bit of a problem with one a couple of months back, but we seem to have sorted that as well, so touch wood that they continue to thrive. Right, so let's have a look at this then. Right, back with the power lead. I'll plug an HDMI lead into it as well. And it says, please wait. That's making a few noises. Sounds like it's loading up off the hard drive, or it's checking files or something. Right, let's give that a moment and see what it does. Right, so I've just got a little clock light on there at the moment. A little clock symbol, I don't know if you can see that there. Right, let's see what happens when we switch it on. And it says hello. And it says no signal. Right, it says C, looks like CBeebies on the front there. So let's try function menu. Well, that seems to work. Let's try that again. Right, it says please wait. Bye. We're back to the clock. Let's just try that again. No, it seems to be doing something a bit weird. Hello. CBeebies. Right, let's just try function menu again, see if anything happens. Please wait. Bye. And now switch itself off. So let's try function menu again. Hello. Right, so it's came up on the screen again there, no signal. Let's just try video menu, see if anything happens. Please wait. Bye. That's a bit weird. So it does indeed appear to be switching off. Right, let's take it apart and we'll have a look, see if we can figure out what's going on with it. Right, just going to zoom down a fraction and we'll get a screwdriver. And take some screws out. So there's a couple on the side here. I'll just unplug it a second. Now it looks like we've got 3 screws that need to come out the back. Right, and we're into it. So let's zoom down a bit, see what we can see. So we've got a hard drive here. It's a 500 gigabyte. I'll just zoom down a bit so you can see that. So that's where obviously all these teddy bear shows are stored. This looks like the main board here. And it looks like we've got a power supply board over here. I'll just I'll just move across a bit there so we can see the power supply. So I'm just wondering if there's something like, I don't know, dodgy caps on here or something. Looks like there's been a little bit of heat around about this area. I mean, we could try and check some voltages on these capacitors. I wonder where, it looks like the power supply is connected to the main board under here somewhere. So I think I might remove this hard drive just so we can have a look underneath here. Let's see how that comes out then. Looks like it's just clipped on the front panel here. I'll just zoom out the fraction. Looks like we've got 3 clips under here. Right, well, there's the front panel off. Right, now looks like we've got 3 screws to remove. I'm just wondering if it could be some kind of, I wonder if there's like firmware stored on this hard drive and the hard drive could have failed possibly and it's causing it to shut down. That's another possibility. Let's see if I get this connector off. Alright, well there's the hard drive out of the way. And it looks like there's a similar connector here. It's a bit of an unusual thing this, I've not seen anything like this before. It's just like wires sort of bent over. Normally they've got like a ribbon cable or a plug-in sort of type of connector. I mean, I can't see any domed capacitors or anything. Nothing obvious at the moment. I might hook the scope up just to see if we get any ripple on any of these capacitors. Just to see if the power supply is giving a smooth output. I think I'll do that. I shall go and hook the scope up. Right, I've got the scope hooked up. Let's see if we get any ripple in any of these voltages then. So that's just over 3 volts. That looks stable. Again, 3 volts. Or 3.1, 3.3 or so. That must be a ground. I'm going to have to alter the scale on that one. So that must be 12 volts. Again, 12 volts. Must be ground. It's about 3 volts or so. That looks about minus 25 volts, that one, for some reason. And that looks about minus 18. Or minus 16 or so, it's a bit weird. There's a few minus voltages on here by the look of it. I mean, I've got my ground onto the tuning can here. So, it seems a bit unusual of having minus voltages there. Let's just see what we get on some of these. Nice and stable. Yeah, let's just try one of the inductors, see if we get any. Yeah, you can see the device switching there by the waveform on the scope. Let's just try some of these capacitors. It's getting a bit warm there. That IC. A little bit of heat coming from there. That's probably the main processor. It's just saying please wait, but I haven't got the hard drive plugged in at the moment. I don't know if you can see that. So I guess it doesn't load the hard drive Doesn't load the, so I guess it doesn't load the firmware off the hard drive because it's booted up there and it seems to be working at the moment. I wonder if it could be a problem with the hard drive. Let's try some functions again. So I've pressed the function menu and I just noticed this light keeps flashing here. I don't know if you can see it on the camera there. Yeah, so I'm holding, that's weird. So I don't know if that light indicates that it's actually receiving a remote signal. Because when I press one of the buttons it stops, and when I let go it starts flashing. So that's a bit strange. It's almost like it's picking up an infrared signal there. I'm just wondering if it's not my light, my overhead light interfering with it or something. Like with it being an LED light. Oh, hold on a sec. It's like the remote control is transmitting all of the time, but we haven't got any buttons pressed. It's just stopped. No, it is. I think it's the. Is it a problem with the remote control? It doesn't seem to be doing it now. Now it is. I wonder if it's a fault with the remote control, not the actual unit itself. So when I place my hand over the remote control, it seems to stop flashing. Let's see if the camera can pick anything up there. Well, that's strange, because normally cameras can pick up. I mean, I know they've got IR filters, but I can't see anything going on at the end of there. I can't see any flashing or anything. I mean, that light definitely seems to stop flashing when I put my hand over the remote control. Because I was thinking, is it something to do with the front panel or the remote control sensor picking interference up from somewhere? But when I put my hand over the remote, it actually stops working. Or the light stops flashing. But it's not picking anything up here. I think on my little component tester, it's got a function for testing infrared remote control. So I'll just go and grab that. So I know this thing does IR. So let's try that. Let's see if this picks anything up. It doesn't look like it. Let's try that again. I'll just try that on a different remote. Right. So if I try it on my TV remote here, there we go. It actually picks up the code there. When we try it on this one, it's not doing anything. So perhaps this tester isn't compatible with the protocol on this remote control. That's the only thing I can think. So So I think we'll start taking this remote apart and we'll have a look, see if we can see what's wrong with that. I might have to move this a bit further back off my mat though. So I'll knock this scope off for now. I'm just going to unplug this a sec. So there's a couple of screws here. Let's see if this comes apart. So I wonder if something's been spilt in this. Right, there we go. Ha! It looks like somebody's tried a repair on this previously by the look of it. I'll just zoom down. So it looks like somebody's put some silver foil on the button and it's came off and it's causing a permanent connection on that pad. So that's what the problem is. So I just wonder if those pads may just need cleaned up, or whether the conductive coating on this button here has actually corroded. It looks like it's got some kind of either grease or something on this. I'm going to get some IPA and a cotton bud and we'll give this all a clean up. But yeah, that's what the cause is. And it also looks like this button here has undergone the same treatment. Right, so that's the cause of the problem anyway. Right, I'll just get a cotton bud and some IPA. Let's take this out of its shell. Yeah, so I guess this temporary repair must have worked for a while, but then when it's fallen off, it's been shorting the button and the machine's been switching off, and obviously he's thought it's been the machine that's been the problem, and it's actually been the remote. And I must admit, I thought it would be a problem with the machine as well. I thought it was something like capacitors or something like that, because that's generally the cause when things start switching off by themselves. It's not usually the remote control, unfortunately. I suppose it just goes to show you, you never know what a fault is going to be until you actually get into it. Just use another cotton bud here just to dry this off. So he didn't mention anything about a previous repair on the remote control. Well, I suppose he probably wouldn't. He probably just thought, like I said, the machine itself was the problem. Right, let's have a look in here. And again, it does look like possibly there has been something spilled in this at one time. So I'll clean all this up as well. I'll just pop this membrane keyboard out. I'll try some IPA and a cotton bud on that as well. There's been super glue put on these as well, because if you listen to this one compared to this one, so that's what's happened. Somebody's glued those on with super glue and then they've came off. So I'm just wondering if they just needed a clean or if the pads are actually worn. Right, I'll leave that to dry a moment. Right, that looks like it's dried there now. I'm just going to see if we've got any resistance on these pads here. Let's just try a... Alright, so we've got about 14k on that one. About 30k on that one. So this should be the power button. I'm not getting any resistance on that one. Let's just try this button. Nothing on that one. On that one we're getting some resistance, but not very much. That's better. Let's try that one. So it doesn't look like we're getting any resistance on those two buttons there. And those are the ones that have the super glue on. Now, I wonder if I can rough that up a little bit with my little grinding pen. Let's just zoom down a bit. Try and get that in shot. Let's see if this makes any difference. Right, let's see if we get any resistance on those now then. And that'll be a no. Right, so it looks like we need some conductive paint to go on these pads here. So I'll have to get some conductive paint, and once I have that we'll finish off the video. Well, I just had a bit of a crazy thought, and we've got a log burner, so I got some of the charcoal out of the bottom of it and mixed it with some white acrylic paint, which resulted in this mess here. So if I just get the meter in shot, it does actually have a resistance. I'll just there we go. Now I don't know if that's going to be enough or not, but I thought, well, we'll give it a try, and if not I'll just clean this back off and then we'll order some proper stuff. But I thought, well, I've got charcoal there and the paints are pretty much acrylic paint with charcoal mixed in, so I thought, well, why not give it a go? Nothing to lose. Right, we'll see what happens when that dries. So, while I was waiting for me Frankenstein paint to dry, I thought I'd reassemble the unit. But I don't think this is going to work, because it has got some resistance now, but it's still in the meg ohms. Let's try this one here. Yeah, like 32 meg, where we've got like 50k and that and stuff on the other pads. 20k, so I'm not convinced this is going to work. I mean, we'll give it a try. Let's see, I've put the circuit board back into the remote. Let's just see if this switches on. Nope. Nope, it's still in standby there. I don't know if you can just see the little clock icon there. So it isn't switching on. So it looks like I'm going to have to either order some conductive paint, or I think you can get replacement pads. I think you've got to slice the original pad off and then glue another pad to here. So I'm going to have a look, see what's available, and then we'll continue from there. Well, it's been a couple of days and I got some of this liquid wire conductive paint to try and repair these two pads here. Now, I've read some mixed reviews on this stuff, saying that it doesn't stick to the silicon very well, and apparently there's not much sticks to silicon very well either. So what I thought was, because I still haven't given up on the paint idea that I had to go on, what I was thinking was, well, what happens if we use some silicon and we'll mix it with some graphite powder. So I've ordered some of this graphite powder, and what my plan is just to mix some silicon sealant type stuff with the graphite powder, and then just try and give it a fine coating on these pads here and see if that works. So I've got some of this Aquasure, which I was using for a little job that I had to do the other day. And what it was one of my Hikvision cameras. One of the IR illuminator lenses had started to leak water into the camera. So I removed this, resealed it with this, because this is excellent for sealing, for making things waterproof. I mean, we used to use it on dive suits when I was diving back in the day. So anyway, what I'm going to do, I'm going to mix a little bit of this I'm just going to put a little bit of it on here. Just probably about that much. And then we'll mix it with some of this graphite powder. That's probably a bit too much. That came out a bit quick. And then I'm going to try and get a small smear of it. I'll just try and zoom down a bit on these couple of pads here. That's a little bit of it on. I'm just going to need to try and find something just to try and spread it around a bit now. So something a bit like that. Right, I think we'll leave that to dry and then we'll give it a test. So I've left this overnight to cure, so let's see if I've got any resistance on these now then. Yes. Let's try this one. Yeah, I think this was going to work. A little bit of a odd reading on this one at times, but we're still getting a reading on it, so hopefully I think this is going to work. So that might be an alternative and maybe a longer lasting fix than using this, which is just basically carbon and water. And some of the reviews said that it just comes off after a while, so hopefully this method might make it last a bit longer. Let's get it back together and we'll give it a test. Now, I don't know why the camera's not picking this up. I mean, normally you can see those with the camera. I mean, it's like if I get my TV remote here and I press the button. I don't know if this one's actually showing or not, because I can't see the TV screen. Yeah, I can see it flickering there. It's just when I'm pressing it, the TV's going off, so I can't actually see if it's working or not. So, but if I try it on this one, if I just press a different button there. So I wonder if this one's operating on a different frequency. Right, I'll get the DVR and we'll give it a test. I think that's going to be the best thing. Right, I've got the DVR. Let's plug this in. And it's saying please wait. I don't know if it shows any. Oh yeah, it does show remote activity. So let's try the power button. Yes. And let's try the other button next to it. I'm not sure whether the other button will work or not, because I think that's programmed for the TV. I think you can program these ones for obviously channel up and down for the actual TV, but this is the one for the actual DVR. Oh yeah, let's see if that's working, that. Excellent. And there we go, there's all of these shows still intact. Excellent. I don't know how you get them to play. Looks like you press the middle button here. There we go. Excellent. Right then, I think we'll get this box back up and get it sent back to Jamie then. So there we go. So graphite powder and some aqua sugar. Like I said, you could probably just use some silicone sealant, but there we go. Right then, if you enjoyed this video, please give it the thumbs up. If you want to see more like it, please subscribe. Any comments or questions, please leave it in the comment section below. And as always, have a great day. Thanks for watching.